Packers did get a victory yesterday over the Chicago Bears, 2019 at Soldier Field. Wasn't pretty. Didn't love it. Didn't feel comfortable. But it's a win. So it goes in the column. They improved to 7-3, 10 games in, 7 games remaining. But I guess that's why the line was what it was. Because I said all last week, starting on Weekly Wager on Wednesday, all the way through until, well, game time. Why is the line on this game 5.5? The Packers are so much better than the Bears. Oh, I don't know that right now. I don't know if the Packers are so much better than the Bears. That's what I'm saying, Shu. Like, I was very confident that they were a far superior team to the buffoon franchise Chicago Bears. And the Bears fired their offensive coordinator, so they're reeling a little bit. Thomas Brown comes in, clearly had a tweaked game plan for the Chicago Bears offense and Caleb Williams. But the Packers barely escaped by the skin of their teeth a victory over a team that everyone across the league knows is floundering, is drowning. Chew, how did this happen?
How did it? Well, there's a lot of the bye week. You knew they were going to come out a little slow. We were talking about it earlier. The offense doesn't seem flowy. It's just that there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's too hitchy, get-uppy, bad play, decent play, good play. There's no flow. Defensively, they're still terrible against the run. I love the one stat you guys sent me. I think it was in the third quarter where Christian Watson had more tackles than Kenny Clark. I mean, that just sums it up. They're a good team. And Gabe, this is, you drove the ball onto the road and you're going to try and play your ball off the road. You hit a tree and it lands 1 yard from the pen. There's no pictures. It's still a 4 on the scorecard, but look, it's not panic time. There's time, but man, you got to start trending in a direction like the Detroit Lions.
But it's Chewy. This is can it be fixed? I mean, this is stuff we've been talking about all season. Like, clearly they know that the pass rush is an issue. And yes, it was nice to see them get a couple of back-to-back sacks that ultimately didn't matter on the final drive for the Bears because Caleb Williams was able to make a couple of plays. Like, that's not going to magically fix itself. They just don't have good enough players there. And at the end, how many times? I mean, I'd be curious to see what the blitz numbers were because it felt like toward the end, Hafley was just going, all right, I just got to start sending guys. We got to get Caleb Williams to the ground. I just got to start sending guys. And that didn't even end up working out. So I don't know how that gets fixed. I don't know how the pass rush gets fixed. I don't know how you want to talk about herky-jerky offense. That's been going on most of the season. Like, there hasn't been a flow. Some of that's turnovers. Some of that's their ineptitude on third down.
But there's standout plays. Like Jordan Love, the interception. You could have ran over and handed the ball to Tucker Kraft. That's how wide open he was. Okay? And then Rashawn Gary blows up the left tackle, and I believe he got a... Where's that been? And then 57, Cox is better than Lucas Van Ness. Your first-round pass is over with. Start playing the best players on the field, right? Quay Walker giving a pump-up speech after he just got juked again in the hole. There's just a handful of plays where it's Romeo Doubs. Third down. Now, I can understand this on first and second down because you drop a ball then, it's usually because you're trying to turn up the field too quickly to make a play, right? Third down, you make sure you secure that catch to move the chains. Another drop, I mean, they're just, if you look at the team stats, I would say, close game, but I would say the Bears probably won the game.
Oh, the Bears outplayed the Packers yesterday. I don't think you're going to get an argument out of anybody about that. Without a doubt, the Bears outplayed the Packers. The Packers had a turnover. The Bears were efficient on third down. They ran the ball efficiently. The one thing the Packers did better was they got the big plays, the 2 big plays to Christian Watson.
Yeah, and that was nice to see that he finally had his breakout game. But, man, you got to start trending very soon into becoming a hot team or you're going to be going home early.
Why couldn't they stop him on third and fourth down? Like, that was rough. I pulled the numbers yesterday, and I believe that they were 12 of 19 on 3rd and 4th down. Are you seeing the box score in front of you, Gabe?
Yeah. So yesterday, the Chicago Bears were 12 for 19 on 3rd down.
And 4th.
Or on 4th, yes.
3rd and 4th down.
Including 3 for 3 on 4th down.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe at least 3 of those were Caleb Williams scrambles, where they needed a few and they got a lot. Caleb Williams scramble 13, Caleb Williams scramble 7, Caleb Williams scramble 4. Why wasn't the defense
because
more like... Go ahead, Chew.
That's what you do with young quarterbacks, Jen, because they don't know all 4 reads. They knew 2, and they can't process. I mean, the game still hasn't slowed down for Caleb Williams. He's still figuring it out. And I don't know if he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be great. But that's what a coach should do. Hey, first read, second read, if it's there, run. First read, second read, and that's clearly what the change in their offensive philosophy was, is like, hey, you got legs, you're athletic, use them.
Yeah, the defenders...
Take what they give you.
Packers defense after the game was basically saying, yeah, we weren't expecting him to run that much. They hadn't shown that he was going to run that much in previous. Obviously, the change to Thomas Brown, the new offensive coordinator, that was a big change for him, where he tried to simplify things, get the ball out of Caleb Williams' hands quickly, and let him run the football. Those are the 2 things.
So there's a lot of philosophies that you can attach yourself to this morning. Obviously, you can say a win's a win. You can say this is not a Super Bowl team. They won that game. They're 7-3, but they're still looking up at a few teams in the division. And the same things, the interception for one, Jordan Love throwing a really bad interception, which he admitted afterwards was just a bad throw. Let's hear from Matt LaFleur, what his disposition is, what his position is on how the game went down and how they will view it going forward.
We knew this is a National Football League. You got to come with your best every week in order to come away with a win. It's always hard to win on the road. They were 4-1 at home, so I figured this was going to be a 4-quarter battle, and that's exactly what it was. It took all 60 minutes, and thankfully we made a play at the end of the game. So I thought there were some good performances, and I thought there was a lot of stuff that we got to get better at, namely in situational ball, 3rd down in the red zone, and really on both sides of the football. So I told our guys we'll never, ever apologize for winning, and we'll take it, and we're going to learn from this. And, we got a big battle next week.
No one expects you to apologize for wins. We understand that this is a wins and losses league, and the more wins you collect, the better chance you have of actually doing something down the stretch. But you got to figure it out. You got to clean some of this stuff up. You can't compete with the top tier, the elite teams of this league playing a game like that. And I do believe, guys, in this idea of sometimes playing down to your competition. I do believe that happens sometimes. Chewy, you mentioned the bye. There's going to be rust. You're going to try to get back into a rhythm. But when are we going to see the Jordan Love and the offense that we saw in the second half of last season? I mean, my goodness, it is virtually the same roster, Gabe. It is virtually the same offense. When are we going to see the explosiveness that we saw at the end of last season start to show itself and start to scare other teams?
I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. If I had an answer for you, I'd be up at 1265 telling Matt LaFleur what the answer was.
Or at the very least, 𝘃𝑚 Casino.
Yeah, I mean, I would have it benefit myself, certainly. But it's the things that he talks about, the situational football. I mean, how many times did Fox splash across the screen yesterday how bad the Packers have been at scoring touchdowns in the red zone? It was every time 29th. The Packers were in there, yeah. In case you were wondering. In case you missed it the first 7 times they put it on the screen. They can't. They get into the ends, the red zone. But I was actually a little nervous once I saw that Christian Watson on the long count. Oh, man. He ended up on the 15.
Yeah, it's far.
Oh, I just wish you would have gotten in the end zone, man. I've seen this team struggle so much in the red zone. And the 3rd down stuff, it didn't really dawn on me until Chew brought it up a couple of weeks ago on All 20 Chew, which you can check out on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page, where Chewy breaks down 5 different plays from every game. And they are 22nd in the league in 3rd down percentage. If that doesn't clean up, if the red zone stuff doesn't clean up, to me, those are things you can clean up. But if it doesn't, I mean, yeah, this team will win double-digit games, but they'll be like the Eagles were last year. Yeah, you won double-digit games, and then you got bounced right away in the first round of the playoffs.
But that's like riding your horses. That's what I mean. Once you get it around the 10, that's tight end. I start licking my chops. I'd be like, oh, here we go. You sit there and expect Holmgren put me on a corner route, please. And you sit there and wait. And then, it's just, I just think you need to target your stars. Is Christian Watson a star? Yeah, he'll have one game out of every 4, right? But like Reed yesterday, 2 for 23, and Tucker Kraft, none.
But your quarterback only threw the ball 17 times, Chew.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
We always talk about how this is a very crowded wide receiver room, right? When it gets even more crowded? When you throw the ball 17 times.
Yeah. Well, that's just because the Bears controlled the clock. They controlled the time of possession.
Correct.
When they didn't have a chance. So, offensively, you can kind of blame the defenses when it comes to get off the field. Get off the field. And it's more than Jair being out.
That didn't
rushed
help.
the ball. Well, they rushed for 180 yards. That's
a
not
lot
good.
of that was Williams.
I could take 100. 100's fine, but 180 is way too much.
Yeah, but
right?
some of it was Williams, Jen, but DeAndre Swift was still over 5 yards per carry. It's not like when they gave it to their other running backs, it was, thank God they're running the football now.
Well, and this run defense has been an Achilles heel for as long as we can remember.
Yeah, well, that's because the front four stinks. And that's why I get worried about the defense, because there's no fixing that. To me, LaFleur can try to fix and coach up the red zone stuff. We've seen Jordan Love go without turnovers, right? We can hope that can be mitigated over the final 7 games. But the pass rush and the run defense is because your front four isn't good enough. I don't know how that gets fixed. So
you're more concerned about the defense going forward than you are about the offense going
100%.
forward. Let's put that on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll this morning. Joshy, who's back there handling the board. A couple of things that you said, though. I did see, and maybe I was the only one, but I think that other people did, Jordan Love seemed to have learned from that penchant he had shown to try to make a play. Or a few times yesterday where play's just not there, whoop, throw it away. Oh, good job, Jordan. Live to play another down. That was good. But then he had the bad interception where it sailed on him, and that was what she wrote.
Well, on the bright side, it wasn't a bad decision. It was just a bad throw. Is that what we're doing with Jordan right now?
I'm not saying that I'm happy about that. I'm just saying that, obviously the big issue he was having was he was trying to make a play when a play wasn't there, and it looked like this time in this game he was like, throw it away. It's like they beat it into his head for the last 2 weeks. Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away.
Because if we're being honest, the decision to throw the ball to Christian Watson in double coverage, the first big play, the 48-yarder.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that a good decision.
No, but it worked out.
No, it worked. Yeah.
If we're talking about decision making.
Jen, is that why you put the bucket as in dropping it in the bucket?
No, bucket stands for bleep it.
Oh, I gotcha. Because if you look, they showed the end zone angle of that.
Uh-huh.
That ain't the throw. He had 2 guys on him.
Oh, yeah. But see, the problem is when that stuff happens, Chew, when he throws a ball to a guy that is double covered and it works, you know what that does? Makes him think he can do it again.
Oh, more
Makes him
bucket
think
throws.
he can thread the needle. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see more of that every time it works. If he's punished for it by an interception or a drop, turn the ball over.
How many more interceptions does he have to throw before he's punished for it?
I'm just saying that play right there, Gabe, is a perfect example of why Jordan Love is going to continue to take risks in the passing game. Because something like that happens, they needed a huge explosive play. They got the huge explosive play. To your point, Chew, wasn't where he should have gone with the ball. But since it worked, he's going to keep trying that.
I do think you need context, though. The team needed to play. He went out there and gave his guy a chance to make one.
I was just going to say that.
At a certain point, the bucket throws, as we're calling them, which is great. I didn't know that meant that, and that's very, very nice workaround. At a certain point, Jordan's making those decisions when you don't need bucket throws. That was probably a situation where you could argue he needed it. And I do want to go back to what Gabe said. I am giving Jordan Love credit for just missing the throw and the interception. It wasn't a bucket throw that got there. So to me, that was a step forward for Jordan Love's interceptions. You missed some. It happens.
Good job, Jordan. Yeah. Well, your turnover this week, it wasn't completely your fault. It was only partially your fault.
It wasn't a bad decision. It was a bad throw, and we take a bad throw because, as Joshy says, bleep happens.